They're the drugs once associated with hippies in the 1960s. LSD, hallucinogenic mushrooms, once feared as a one-way ticket to insanity, now being discussed as real medicine to treat real problems.
Well, I am a firm believer. I've seen it work in many people.
Rick Doblin imagines a day when patients will be able to go to their doctor's offices for their doses of LSD or ecstasy pills.
I think eventually there will be psychedelic clinics regulated by FDA with people who are specially trained to administer the psychedelics, and people will come to them for medical purposes or for rites of passage in their life or personal growth.
Doblin comes with credentials. He's got a PhD from Harvard in public policy and has spent years studying psychedelics.
Proving that there is a convention for practically everything, researchers from around the world have come to San Jose, California to talk about psychedelic drugs. Here at the Holiday Inn, they're sharing stories about those drugs and their hope that one day they will become a regular part of medicine.
Here at the conference, we found Sarah Huntley, who says she was abused emotionally and physically as a child.
It made me feel worthless most of the time, and that I was a burden to that member of my family, and that I wasn't really worth that burden.
She says the abuse stripped her of self-confidence. Then, as a 17-year-old high school student, she started taking the drug ecstasy, scientifically known as MDMA.
MDMA, or ecstasy you see right here, was developed in the early 20th century as a possible appetite suppressant. Of course, today people use it for its hallucinogenic effects. Users say it can heighten their senses and lower their inhibitions.
It seems like the color contrast is what...
Now 23, Sarah says MDMA helped get her life back.
Using the MDMA helped ease my sense of fear and defensiveness.
They talked about being happy.
Psychiatrist Michael Mithofer has never examined Sarah, but believes psychedelics hold tremendous promise. Through a study approved by the Food and Drug Administration, he's been administering MDMA to patients with post-traumatic stress disorder.
As a doctor, what made you think that psychedelics could be helpful?
Well, we know that the treatment of PTSD involves revisiting the trauma in a therapeutic session. So our idea is that MDMA may bring people into kind of an optimal zone of arousal where they can connect with their feelings, but they aren't going to be overwhelmed by fear.
For advocates, the key is matching the drug with the problem. Psilocybin, found in certain mushrooms, might be used to treat anxiety related to terminal illness. The same for LSD.
It can vary according to what issues they're working with, how much denial they have. But we would like to have psychiatrists and psychotherapists have access to a whole tool chest of psychedelics that they can use at appropriate times.
But some doctors question whether psychedelics are ever appropriate. Stanford psychiatrist David Spiegel says there's no scientific literature yet to back up any positive claims.
The key issue in the treatments of this disorder is teaching people how to access their memories and feelings about the trauma in a controlled way. And psychedelics are anything but a controlled experience.
For now, that's the mainstream medical consensus.
Maybe if you get pure MDMA.
But supporters here hope that over time, psychedelics will be seen less as a bad trip and more as legitimate medicine.